Hello, hello. Oh, one sec. Hello, hello. So, I'm back. Oh, why does it do that? If anyone can tell me why, whenever I toggle Elden Ring off, for some reason it always decides to go timeline as watch. So if I toggle onto Elden Ring, it does that. Yeah. And then the way I seem to fix it is shift it across to my other monitor and back again. Anyway, here we are. So, for anyone who's here, which is probably nobody, but if they are, and if they caught me streaming earlier, I was having a few technical difficulties. The stream itself, the run, was okay. We're having some tech difficulties, but we've solved them. So, well, I think we've solved them anyway. My audio doesn't sound very crispy, but that's because I don't have a very expensive microphone. My camera looks a little bit shimmery, and that's because it's downscaling from 4K. One second, let me just actually check my camera. There we go. So it looks a bit shimmery, but it should be okay. Audio we talked about, and then output audio sound was terrible in my earphones. I don't know if that was coming across badly on stream, but I fixed it on my earphones now anyway. The only thing that might need to tweak is the volume. So you tell me if the volume is not loud enough, and I'll change it. In fact, I do think I'm going to just quickly log up the last volume a little bit. It's interesting because that's not changing on my mixer. Anyway, enough waffle. You'll tell me. There's no one here anyway, but anyone who is here can tell me. So, Elden Ring in under 1 hour. The saga continues. What started as a little project that I didn't think was going to be too difficult has become not that. Never going to lose the faith that it's possible. However, we've never completed a run. We've never got a time on the board, and we've been doing this for months now. However, any day now, we are going to get time on the board. Will it be under 1 hour? Definitely not. However, anything under the 120 mark, I'll be very happy with, and then we go from there. That's a bad start. $31 is not a good split for the very first split. What we were saying earlier, chat, on the previous run was that the muscle memory's disappeared a little bit. I haven't streamed for a while. I had some surgery, blah, blah, blah. I was having a difficult recovery. Much better now. I've actually got a hospital appointment today, which is why I can't stream for too long. But now I can stream again. But, sorry, what my point was, I'm very out of practice. I was streaming a lot, I was in a lot of practice. The muscle memory is strong. I wasn't having to think too much about everything. However, that has slipped a little bit. And this run is incredibly precise. So I'm going to just need to do a few runs to dust off the cobwebs. Now, the other problem is because I'm recovered now, I'm actually back at work full time. Which means, from that perspective, my time for streaming is not as much as it was before. Which then subsequently obviously negates the level of practice. However, we're back, we're here, we're streaming now. And we're cracking on. The other problem, as explaining in my stream earlier, was that I was hacked.
But I can also that you're not. Then why not? I am Carly.
It's absolutely diabolical. Sorry, where was I? Yeah, I was hacked. And what that meant was I ended up having to factory reset. In fact, not even factory reset. I don't know what you would call it. Basically, like reinstall Windows from scratch, which meant I lost everything on my hard drive. I lost all my software for streaming. I lost all my presets, my thumbnails for content, my save states for Elden Ring practice, everything, you name it, it was gone. So that just means so there was a lot of faff setting that all back up again, basically is what I'm trying to say. But we're here now.
Have they served? But you, I can play turning wood to aid you. You need to the foot. Then summon me. Ah, I bequeath you. It will summon torrent. Treat him with.
So yeah, anyway, so that's been the journey. Thankfully we are in a slightly better place now. In my run this morning we made it to Morgott. As I was explaining, there's 3 kind of main hard stops, for me at least in this run. First one being Radahn, second one being Morgott, third one being Fire Giant. So we got past our first hard stop, did not get past our second, so therefore didn't even make it to the third. Annoyingly, the Morgott fight was actually going quite well. Just a momentary lapse of concentration, let's say. I'm not going to be streaming for too long either because I have to have this hospital appointment, so I need to leave the house. That's good. I need to leave the house at about 11:45, so I'll probably come off stream in about half an hour, maybe 40 minutes, so I can quickly get myself organised. So I hope we get a little decent run in before then. You might, the eagle-eared and eyed of you might realise that that's not enough to complete a full run. That shows the level of self-confidence I have that this will become a successful run. Because if we are on a run, I don't know what I will do because I'm very desperate to, obviously, it'll be demo if I have to end it because I've got an appointment. This is a very good Cellier skin. But no, that's annoying me. It's great. Just so you know, my live split in the top right, I had to wipe that obviously when my computer, when I had to restart my computer. So that's why there's no personal best times. It says it's my first attempt when it isn't, obviously. I don't know how many attempts I'm on actually. My guesstimate would be about...
To determine if you had... It seems torrent, whereas I'm...
100?
There is, but I can take gathering. Where let my hand...
100. Yeah, it's a bit frustrating that I had to take a big break from streaming because I felt like we were building up a little bit of momentum. We're getting some active chatters and we were getting some decent amount of followers. But we'll just have to trust the process. So there's some menu in there, gang, that if you don't get it, you lose about 15 seconds. And my PB, that obviously you can't see, but my PB, I have gotten that before. Twice, actually. So, anyway. It's annoying, there's actually a different strat whereby, so that's the Somber 5, right, that you need. There is another strat which is faster, where you actually pick up a Somber 5 a lot later, so you can skip that whole running section basically. And basically in the room in Godfrey, or Godfrey Shade, in that room after you kill him, there's a 5 you can pick up there. Problem with that strat that I was having, because I did switch that strat a little bit, but basically what it means is basically have to fight obviously all bosses prior to Godfrey Shade, so Radahn, Margit, blah 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 blah. You have to fight all of them with a +4. And that, honestly, like, it threw off. I practiced so much the scripts, you know, and it was just throwing off the swag. Nearly get poisoned. Throwing off my script so much that I just thought, you know what, let's do that. Yeah, it was throwing off my script so much that I was like, you know what, I need the damage. I'd rather have the damage. In fact, it's not. It wasn't even that you fight all the bosses up to then. Just a quick sip of coffee. Well, actually, it actually meant you fought even more, got all the way up to Fire Giant at +4 instead of a +5. Because rather than going all the way to the blacksmith to upgrade your weapon twice, and obviously losing time, you just wait until you did the +8 upgrade before Fire Giant and did it all in a row. And I just thought the kind of relearning the scripts on so many bosses just wasn't worth it, basically. So yeah, that's what's going on here. One thing as well I have got, but I don't know, I mean, let me know if you think it'd be interesting on stream. What I kind of did was save the I've got some practice strategies that I do. So basically I use an Elden Ring save manager, which is an amazing tool. I can't credit the person who made it, unfortunately. I'd love to, because I don't know. But it's a brilliant, brilliant tool. But basically you can save states, organise different save states for practice, obviously. So I created a save state for every boss. I think there's about 14. And in order to practice, what I would do is I would get ChatGPT to give me a random order of all the bosses. And then I would just complete all the bosses like a boss rush in the order that ChatGPT told me to do, and then I would scramble it, like shuffle the order again, and go one more time. Obviously that doesn't allow you to practice the running sections and the skips and the parkour sections and so on and so forth. But I have been doing that off screen, basically. Off stream, sorry.
Will you please? I'm angry.
So if anyone thinks that would be useful, because this is the thing, like if I just do runs, it's not very likely, but it is likely that I might not practice the third section very often, obviously. Because if I always die at a hard stop, obviously, and then I just reset for streaming purposes, then I will never practice all the bosses that fall in the final section. So I do need to at some point dedicate time to practicing those bosses. And I can do that on stream, of course I can. So if anybody thinks that might be worth streaming, then let me know. If not, I will just continue to stream my runs. The other thing is like I was using that save manager is like if I just practice the 3 hard stops over and over and over again, because obviously completing a run relies on hitting all of those 3, then I figured that's where you should spend your time practicing, right? I do think that might get a bit boring though, watching me just fight the same 3 bosses 15 times. But I guess I need to start seeing this a bit like a sport. So like, how would a tennis player practice? He's obviously going to practice, he or she, or they're going to practice. They're going to practice matches, match play, tactics, but they're also going to practice drills, serves, practice the backhand return over and over hundreds of times, so I guess I should probably do the same and not just do run after run after run. And obviously if there's any speedrunners that tune in to my stream, I would love some tips, some tricks. How do you do it? How can I get better? Feedback is everything. Probably shift my camera up, shouldn't I, so you can see my room count. When I next quit out. To get better at menu when you're not veering off in a random direction as well. I hate this bit, I don't know why. That's why. Actually take this opportunity. That should be enough. Then I'm gonna do that, and that's gonna happen. Annoying. Oh my god. So annoying. Oh, fuck. Sorry, that is schoolboy. Literally, like, because I wasn't actively on the window, my controller wasn't working. See my room count now. And obviously, that's all that matters. Also, if anyone wants to do any Elden Ring collabs, let me know. I would love to, like, team up with some other streamers and work together. It's quite lonely because I'm quite new to this, so I feel like sometimes I'm just pissing into the wind, streaming to nobody, trusting the process, trusting the content. But yeah, I'm definitely at the start of my streaming journey. I'm still learning. So any support, any community along the way would be gratefully appreciated. annoying that I don't have my PBs saved, because I had about 100 runs worth of split PBs saved. So it means like there's certain like sort of reference points that I remember, but some I've got no idea. Like I've got no idea if that split 1701 is where even that is. It could be a minute slower than my PB. It could be 2 seconds. I know that DTS, well, the best I've ever done DTS is just before 20 minutes, so in the 90, I think it was like 1959. However, that was when I was doing the old Somber 5 strat that I was talking about before, so there's about 30 seconds on top of that. Really, I think anything under 21 is a good pace, because basically DTS is about a third of a run, obviously assuming that the run is under an hour, and I think anything under 21 sets you up for a decent pace to get the hour. So that becomes the target. I actually think, I think I can get the hour if you don't even, if you're in the 22s, but I don't know. So you can see obviously your stamina bar. For those of you who don't know, in Elden Ring, your stamina bar, like, it's a really good mechanic actually that they didn't have in other Souls games. Your stamina bar doesn't deplete if you're not in combat. So you can see mine's depleting, and it's because the game thinks I'm in combat. And on this, there you go, stop now. On this run, sometimes at that moment it doesn't put me in combat, and sometimes it does, and I'm yet to figure out what it is that triggers it. Yeah, so obviously the gargoyle that flies in triggers it, but sometimes it then stops, and sometimes it doesn't. This first time, I don't think it'll be under 21, because it's the split isn't when you kill it. The split is when you touch the grace. Close. It's going to be mighty close. Yeah, look, 2059. Come on. It's good, man. Got five blood greases as well, which is good. Gives me an extra attempt. Sometimes you only have 4. Depends on the material pickups. scrappy, but it's alright. Got it done. Didn't get the riposte. And actually,
Well,
the
I
riposte isn't the
presume
fastest way of doing it, but it's my
I
consistent way
am
of
an
doing it.
old soul here, perhaps. Something else.
That was a bit sloppy as well. Really don't like this fight. Jinxed myself then, didn't I? Come on! So annoying, man. It's not a difficult fight. It's just concentration. It's not a hard stop, obviously, but it's a massive time loss. See what I mean? Not difficult. But a stupid time loss. Oh well, here we go. First hard stop. I mean, it's not a massive, like, when I've got 5 blood greases, it's alright, because it means technically I could have 3 attempts at this. That's embarrassing. Scrappy run. It's alright. It's all good practice. Where am I going here? Climbing a tree. It's better. So basically with Radahn, there's 2 elements to it. There's getting the 1 cycle, which is ideal. It's quite rare that I get the 1 cycle. And then there's just not dying, honestly. So there is an RNG element because you use summons and sometimes they can kind of get in the way. Which is very, very annoying. And also there's an RNG at the beginning, which you'll see in a second. So there's a certain attack. It's late. It's not doing it. There it is. was an example where I didn't get a single cycle. Because he's supposed to stagger. Never happened before. I don't know what's going on here. Where's it going to put me? What? Okay. I've got no fucking... Oh, I'm all the way over there, look. Fucking hell. I mean, I suppose this is quicker than having to do the fight again. It also, the run continues, because I've still got enough blood grease, but...
Wait, I see it. I see it now. Humans always focus. Was my whole existence.
I think I've got enough blood grease anyway. Scrappy as hell. This is a safety grace, so normal speedrunners wouldn't definitely not take this grace, especially because on paper Margit is not a difficult boss. Not in the speedrun anyway, but trust me, I have died to him too many times to take the risk. Should be okay. Basically, sometimes he runs off.
Thou art of passing skill. Warrior blood must truly run in thy veins. I shall remember thee, tarnished, smouldering with thy meager flame. Cower in fear.
Need a wee as well. Dancing around like... "Wah."
You there? I would advise it tightly. The guards, you'll breach the...
Yeah, this run up the hill is a fucking nightmare. So, I might not even get enough time to bloody do more on this run. Might die here. Click that. That's one for the shorts, isn't it? This is another thing, like, you have to put your rooms in the whole strat's fucked. Good one if they were all like this, eh? God, I hate this, man. What? Did not register my... What? I'm lost. Chat, what's happening? Bit lost here. Should have way more runes. I don't know what's going on here. It's supposed to have way more runes. I did die, obviously, but I thought I picked up my runes. Because you don't have any runes going into Radahn because you've just done the stake skip. You don't have any after Radahn clear your runes. Yeah, you don't have any. Sorry, you don't have any runes after Radahn. I did a Margit first time. I mean, obviously this room's dead because I need to do this and wait, which is crazy. I did Margit first time. I died running up the hill in Stormvale about getting my runes. And then I did first time Godric. I'm gonna have to end in a second anyway, chat, because I really can't be late to this appointment. So I think what I want to do is just try. Don't know why. Try this skip, and then we'll end. We'll call it a day then, chat. All right. might come on back on later. Depends on the timing. It depends how long the appointment is, because I have to pick up my kids from preschool later, and it all depends on how long the appointment is, because the hospital I go to is awful, and I've been there hours before waiting. Anyway, but if I don't see you, hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day.